Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this crazy, crazy world we're living in. So, in this video, I'm asking for your help. The police are asking for your help, and this man, whose face you can see up in the corner, he's silently asking for your help. So, this is a man who was found over a year ago in a reservoir in a wetsuit. Presumably, he'd been wild swimming or something like that, and something happened. But he was never identified, and we're going to have a go at identifying him, or the police are trying to have him identified. They've enlisted experts to reconstruct his facial features. And let's hope that somebody recognizes him so he can be claimed. Obviously, this man is deceased, he's beyond help in that sense. But surely someone somewhere must be wondering where this man is, why they haven't heard, but even if he doesn't directly live with, immediate family or a partner, etc. Surely somebody somewhere is wondering, oh, I haven't seen that man, David, or whatever his name is. I haven't seen him for ages. What happened to him? Because, sometimes you just do lose touch with people. And unless a person is someone you see on a regular basis, or was he not working? Did he not have, surely if he didn't turn up for work, he would be missed. Anyway, this is what we're going to talk about, and he needs all the help he can get. So please don't forget to share this video if you can, because if you don't know this man, maybe you're not living anywhere near. This happened in Wales. I'm going to show you the area, Wales in Great Britain. Wales, a beautiful country, very proud country. Was he a Welshman? Or was he someone who was on holiday there? Because it is a place that people go to see the fabulous scenery, etc. It's an absolutely beautiful country. Small country, part of Great Britain, of course, but a country in its own right, with its own language, with its own proud independence. I've got a lot of Welsh followers, I know, so there may be, just might be somebody out there who either knows who this man is, or maybe if you share it, if you live in that area, somebody else who may know who he is, and a name can be put to this person who's been found. Anyway, first of all, it's been absolutely, for those of you who don't know, I live in Spain, that's where I'm based. It has poured down all night. We've had storms, we've had thunder, lightning. Oh my God, I thought we were being bombed at one point. I thought, orange face, Trumpy, had finally got fed up with the Spanish Prime Minister calling him out for his illegal wars. Did you hear that? That's what we've had all night. Thunder, lightning. Oh my God. Poor dogs have been traumatized. Just want to warn you now, the internet's been a bit jumpy, off and on. Electricity, actually. Electricity goes off for a second, comes back. So if I just suddenly disappear, I will be back. It's been all night that's been going on since the early hours of the morning. I don't know. We've had one of those winters here in Spain which never stopped raining. But anyway, it's got finished soon. I mean, where are we now? We're on the 10th of March. Surely the nice weather's coming soon. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody for watching, for liking, for subscribing. I want to thank my members especially. Those of you who sent me Ko-fis, sent emails, left nice messages, any positive way you contribute to my channel, thank you so much. So let's see if, between us, and I mean between us, and not only us, but everybody else, because this has been all over the news. The police are really trying to find this man. Or find out the identity of this man. let's see if between us all we can do it. Within a couple of days, let's hope he is identified, and return to his loved ones, or he might be estranged from his loved ones. It's. I was thinking, who could not be identified or declared missing, because the police have checked everything, all the missing people that have been reported missing. But sometimes with adults, people don't report them missing, do they? They just maybe think, I don't know what they think. It's hard to believe that somebody could be unidentified for all this time. Normally, in the true crime cases we talk about, we're looking for bodies, or that we're monitoring somebody, looking for where somebody is. In this case, the person is found, but what can't be established is their identity. So it's a different scenario, isn't it, to what we're used to? So let me first of all just show you where this happened. So I say this happened in the United Kingdom, in the UK, but in Wales. And this man was found in a reservoir called Claerwen. Let's just see if that's sharing. I'll make sure I'm sharing. I'm going to come into the chat in a minute and say hello to people. But hello, lovely lurkers. Hello, replay crew. Thank you for watching. In fact, I'll see somebody's there in the chat. Hi, Sean. Yes, it is far away from you, but you never know. He's a John Doe. Yeah, the guy's been found in a reservoir, deceased last year, over a year ago. And seems to me that he was probably wild swimming or kayaking, but they would have found the kayak, wouldn't they? But yeah, so this is where it's happened. It's Claerwen Reservoir in Wales, in the United Kingdom. So let's just, where's it gone? I think this is it here. What is that? Anyway, the important thing is the area. Oh, why's that done that? So if we look where this is in conjunction with Great Britain or the United Kingdom, where Wales is. So Wales is this small country just here. It's a very beautiful part of the world, as I say. It's absolutely stunning scenery. So it just really is beautiful. If you ever get a chance to visit, you should. It's definitely a lovely place to visit. And this is the reservoir here. It's quite big, isn't it? It's quite big. So what the police have done, they've reconstructed this face, and they're appealing. You can see, I mean, it looks beautiful. Surely somebody knows who this person is. Let's have a look at his. Yeah, that's interesting, Sean. So it just shows you he might know him. The thing is, the good thing about the internet, of course, in these areas. I mean, I don't live in Wales. I live, of course, in. Why is this not showing? Right, I'm on the wrong. Am I? I don't live in Wales, but just me doing this video, somebody may be watching. Don't know why that's not showing. I'm trying to show its picture, but I'll stop sharing that. There he is. So yeah, This is the face that's been reconstructed. So they're very clever, aren't they, these days? Surely somebody maybe will recognize them and think, oh, that's such and such. They like to go wild swimming, or I haven't seen them for a while. You know, even if he lives completely alone, even if he hasn't got any family, or maybe he's strayed from his loved ones, surely somebody will look at that picture and think, oh, that looks a bit like such and such. I haven't seen him for ages. He's got quite a distinctive, they pointed out, he's got quite a distinctive tooth, teeth alignment here. There's a bit missing or broken maybe. Anyway, this is what they think. Of course, it won't be exactly what he looks like. So, maybe it won't help. I don't know. But let's have a look at the article. So, where we're going now. So I want to show you the article. I'm not sure what the population of Wales is. I might have a look in a minute. I just want to show the article first of all. So yeah, let's just check it's sharing. Facial reconstruction of man found in a reservoir released by police. Gosh, I mean, it does look absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? But it's very solitary, isn't it? So the thing is, I think whatever happens in this, if he's found, his identity is found or not, I do think a lesson we have to take away from it is, although, I know a lot of people like wild swimming, don't they, these days? It's a very popular activity, but you should not go on your own. You should always go with other people, organise groups, or at least a group of friends. To go on your own to a place like this, I understand the attraction of it. It is so beautiful, and some people love the isolated nature of it, and swimming free there, but there's nobody there to help you if you get into trouble, and anyone can get into trouble, whether it's someone experienced or not. We've seen it so many times. You can get the cold water shock. You can start off okay, and then you don't realize, and then your limbs start to stiffen up and you can't get out. Maybe he went too far out. Maybe he got his feet tangled in weeds. That's the other thing that can happen, isn't it? Even near the shoreline. These are things that can happen to people, and people don't realize it. When you look at the surface of the water like that, it looks so peaceful, doesn't it? And it just looks like, oh God, you could jump into it. If it was a warm day, of course. I mean, the water would be freezing most of the year round. You can see the attraction of it. But of course, you don't know what's under the surface, do you? We've seen that so many times. It's easy to get into trouble. It's so easy to get into trouble. So I think a definite lesson we need to learn, isn't it, is don't go on your own. Okay, let's just watch this video.
Ago at the Claerwen Reservoir, a walker made a discovery that detectives are still trying to unravel. The body of a man, unknown, unclaimed, and until now, faceless. Specialists at Liverpool John Moores University's Face Lab have used scans and forensic reports to carefully reconstruct what the man may have looked like.
The hope is that somebody out in the public will recognise or think they recognise who this man is, contact us, and then we can make those inquiries with them and possible further inquiries that we can do to confirm if this man is who they think it is, and hopefully lead to an identification of him.
And despite months of inquiries, no one has come forward to say who he was. Now, nearly 16 months on, investigators are hoping a face might finally shed light on the man's identity.
We know what we've been able to glean from the post-mortem report from the pathologist, which was that he was a white male, aged between approximately 30 to 60 years of age, around 12 stone.
For detectives, this image is more than just a reconstruction. Been missing. Caddy Gwyn Edwards, ITV News.
I mean, although it looks beautiful, this looks terrifying to me. I couldn't imagine going swimming there. But hi, Daniel. Oh, thank you, Sean. I think Sean's just bought me a coffee. Let me just put that up there. Oh, came through on my notifications, which it doesn't normally do, so that's good. Oh, thank you. Hi, Mark. Morning. The coffee, Sean. So yeah, it seems that this is not a case of self-deletion, because he was wearing a wetsuit. So if you were going to end your life, surely you would not have a wetsuit on. It seems to me that this is someone who was doing some wild swimming. Now, he may not even be from the area, may he? Because he may have been on holiday there. So let us watch that video again. They said he was a white, although it might be actually in the article underneath. So they said, yeah, we'll read it instead. They said a white male, didn't they? Let's see. So, a facial reconstruction of a man whose body was found in a reservoir has been released by police more than a year after he was discovered. And the unidentified man who was wearing a wetsuit is believed to have been in the water for up to 12 weeks before he was found by a walker at Claerwen Reservoir, Powys. I hope I'm pronouncing those things right. In October 2024. Now, he deserves to be identified, doesn't it? It's so very sad. And a walker found him. Gosh, you know, you when you go out walking, I don't know if he's a dog walker or just a hiker, you know, that's very traumatic for them as well, isn't it? Imagine to find the remains of someone. Now, without being too graphic, I know that there would have been he wouldn't have been recognizable, let's say, after 12 weeks in the water. You know, it's horrible what the water does to people. So, you know, that's why they've had to reconstruct his face. You know, they wouldn't have been able to take a photo of his face. They'd been in the water too long, probably. Anyway, so Ydych Powys police have released the facial reconstruction created by Face Lab at the Liverpool John Moores University in the hope someone will recognise him. I do think the new technology that we have that people can do, it's fantastic, isn't it? These labs that, you know, because so many people have been identified by these sort of reconstructions. And yeah, although it doesn't bring that person back, it's a sense of closure for the families, you know, of people that go missing. I say it's strange that they haven't been able to link him to any missing person. Anyway, Detective Inspector Anthea Pontin, who has led the investigation, said, when the discovery was reported to us, we immediately got to work on establishing who this man was. In the absence of any personal belongings other than the wetsuit he was wearing, no identification documents or vehicles nearby. No vehicles nearby. That's odd, isn't it? Where's his vehicle? Because surely he hasn't walked there. Surely he hasn't walked to this reservoir. You know, that's odd, isn't it? Don't you think? makes you wonder, is there any foul play involved? Do you think, is it a possibility? Because where is his vehicle? Or if he's cycled there, and where's the I mean, see, his other items, of course, could be in the water as well, I suppose. Though surely he wouldn't go and do a wild swim and, his rucksack or whatever. It's strange, isn't it? In the absence of any personal belongings other than the wetsuit he was wearing, no identification documents or vehicles nearby, we began working with neighbouring police to conduct checks for missing or wanted people who had not been traced. And when this was unsuccessful, we extended our inquiries to contact all UK forces. We ran searches through the police national database and issued bulletins to police overseas through Interpol. Now, of course, he could be from abroad. He could be somebody that was on holiday there. He could be from another country, but they've put bulletins out through Interpol. And surely, though, if he was staying in a hotel or a hostel or something like that, surely they would have reported, he wouldn't have took every single belonging with him to the reservoir, would he? It's odd, isn't it? It's quite curious, really, that nothing else has been found, no car. How did he get there? Unless he hiked there. And as I say, if he is a holidaymaker and he was staying in a hotel, surely they would have wondered why he didn't come back and Anyway, they said, we've also searched DNA, fingerprint and dental records for potential matches and issued public and media appeals for information. Each time we have reached out to the public, we've been provided with some lines of inquiry to follow up on. But unfortunately, none have proven to be the key to finding out who this person is. There were no other items of clothing, jewellery or modes of transport in the area when the man was found, and he had no distinguishing marks such as scars or tattoos. It's unusual these days for someone not to have tattoos. So, Ydych Powys police said the man was aged between 30 and 60, around 6 foot tall, so quite an imposing guy then, weighing 202 to 220 pounds and of white European descent. And Miss Pontin added, I urge anyone who thinks they might recognise him to come forward. This is someone's family member, someone's loved one, and I would like nothing more than to return him to his loved ones who might be missing him. Anyone who visited Claerwen Reservoir between July and October the 18th, 2024, and saw anything that might help inquiries or is aware of someone who has not been seen for some time and matches the description, can contact Ydych Powys Police on 101. Or you can contact anonymously, you can contact Crime Stoppers. And there's the number there, 0800 555 111, or on their website, of course. So it's a real mystery, isn't it? How did he get there if there was no vehicle found roundabout? How did he actually get there? And I agree with you there. How would you couldn't put someone into a wetsuit, could you, really? Once they were dead, if they, if you think, oh gosh, maybe somebody killed him and they tried to make it look like an accident, how would you put someone? You couldn't put someone in a wetsuit, surely. I think this is an accident, most likely, but it does seem strange to me. That there's no vehicle around, or I think he may not be from that area. Maybe that's maybe he's Eastern European or something like that. Maybe he's in the country legally. That's another possibility. And sometimes, people don't like to talk to the police, do they? If people that he does know, maybe if they're immigrants, they might not want to talk to the police, because sometimes people don't like to talk to the police. They don't want to give attention to their status. Maybe they're not legally in the UK. It's only a small population. Someone knows who he is. I mean, he might be Welsh. So it's 3.19 million people. In mid-2024, the estimated population of Wales was 3.19 million, and this represents a slight increase driven by net international migration. So there are a lot of migrants in Wales. So it is possible, of course, that this person is a migrant, and maybe the people that are missing him, they're migrants too. Maybe they just don't want to go to the police because they've not got a legal status. Do you think that's a possibility? It does seem strange that nobody's reported him missing. Yeah. So no other items. Now, if he would have, I'm sure they've checked all round the reservoir. I mean, it's quite big, you can see that. But he would have had to go to the banks of the reservoir, leave his belongings on the side. Surely, unless someone's stolen his belongings, I don't think anybody would be out there looking to steal. If you were out there walking and you found a rucksack, and I presume it would have some sort of ID in it or some personal items, surely you would hand that into the police, because you would presume, that if I was walking around a river, around a reservoir like that, and I found a rucksack, I would definitely be thinking, oh my God, is this person okay? Why have they left a rucksack here? And you would go straight to the police, wouldn't you? I don't think anybody would steal that rucksack, but of course somebody might just take it home. I don't know, but where's his transport? Where's his car or his bicycle or however he got there? Sorry, I've got to just check my phone because I've got to see my class is cancelled today. Yeah, because I've got Spanish classes later, but the weather's so terrible. Yeah, so that's okay. I'll be on bugging you all with some more live streams probably as the day goes on. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you because somebody surely knows what's happened to this person. I think that's a possibility, Sean, isn't it? Maybe he was there with somebody else, having an affair with someone. Maybe when something happened, they didn't want to, what's the word, they didn't want their partner to, if he was having an affair with someone who maybe was married, and maybe he drove there with somebody else. I mean, that's positive. There won't be any CCTV at this area to see any cars arriving, but yeah, it's very possible he did go there with somebody else. And then when whatever happened, the other person drove off, scared to go to the police or whatever. So, yeah. So the reservoir is called, let me go back to it to find the name of it. Where's it gone? Right, it's called the Claerwen Reservoir. I'm going to write that in chat because so that you can. Claerwen. Yeah, is it possible that he went there with somebody else? And then maybe something, as you know, he got lost. Not got lost. He drowned for what, you know, however. And maybe it was a clandestine meeting and the other person drove off in a panic. That's a possibility. Or if he is a migrant, if he is Eastern European, maybe the other person is Eastern European too, and maybe not on a legal status in the UK. And he panicked. He didn't want to go to the police. You know, now it's such a climate of anti-immigration in the UK. That's a possibility. It's all a possibility, isn't it? So basically, that's the whole point. We don't know, do we? We don't know. Another mystery. So many mysteries in the world, isn't it? Joe, when you start looking, there are so many mysteries in the world. Life is not straightforward, is it? You know, this man, he ended in that reservoir in a wetsuit. He looks, you know, if this is an accurate reconstruction, he looks fit, doesn't he? They said he was 6 foot tall, probably. He looks, you know, substantial. Maybe someone who enjoyed to keep fit and that. But the thing is, as well, because I was thinking maybe he cycled there or even hiked there. He could have hiked there, but he has to have a car somewhere. He can't have just, you know, dropped out of the sky, out of nowhere. He has to be parked somewhere unless he lives locally, which then you would think that somebody would have noticed that he'd gone missing. I mean, surely he had a job. I mean, the thing is, it's difficult to disappear completely, isn't it? Because if you were, even if you knew nobody, even if you were a recluse, you know, you didn't have any family, you didn't have any friends, you didn't like communicating with people or whatever, but surely you would work, you know, have a job. Or if you didn't have a job, I mean, how long would it take before, I mean, years ago, they would have noticed straight away because you used to have to go and sign on for your benefits and things. I don't know how it works these days. Do people have to actually sign on, or do they just get their benefits set up, and maybe his benefits, if he's on any, are just still being paid into his bank account, you know, because nobody knows that he's deceased. Don't you have to report every now and again and say your circumstances are the same? You do here in Spain, but I don't know what it's like in the UK, whether they just set you up with an automatic payment and that's it. You never have to, you know, I just don't know what the situation is. But the thing is, he had to be getting some income from somewhere. So he was either working or he was on benefits, or maybe he was financially independent. Maybe he was a tourist, as I say. I think it's quite likely that he might have been a tourist. Because a lot of people go to Wales. It's such a beautiful place. People do go there on holiday. But I don't know. What do you all think? It's very sad, isn't it? And as I say, hi, Tori. Thank you for hitting like. Thank you. As I say, no, this is completely the opposite from what we're normally. We're looking at cases where we don't know where people are, you know, like with Nancy Guthrie. I mean, I haven't really talked about Nancy Guthrie this morning because there is really nothing to say. Still no news, not proper news. That's the 84-year-old lady that's disappeared over there in Arizona, in Tucson. That's a case of, that's the normal cases that we look at where people have gone missing. Where are they? What's happened to them? And this is like the opposite, isn't it? We know what's happened to this man, but we just don't know who he is. You know, well, I say we know what's happened to him. We know his body's been recovered from this reservoir in Wales, but we don't know how he ended up there. But I think the fact he was wearing a wetsuit means that he's probably was wild swimming, and that's how he's ended up in the water. So it's probably not a crime, but you know, we just don't know. But so anyway, that's, I just wanted to come on and talk about it. It's been a lot on the news it's been a lot on the news. You know, the police are driving to find out who this person is, and this is the latest reconstruction. Surely from this picture now somebody will come forward, you know, because all the things, surely, you know, I was thinking about, I know some people who this could happen to. There's one person in particular I'm thinking of, and that I know, they're a very solitary person. You do hear from them every now and again, but I've got to be honest, if I didn't hear from them for a year, I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't think, oh, they must be missing. But probably when it came to their birthday or Christmas, I'd drop them a message and say, oh, you okay? I haven't heard from you for a while. And if they didn't answer at all, I would contact other people who I know who know them and say, oh, do you know how such and such is? Because they haven't answered my message. Because it's on you, even though they don't reach out very often themselves, they if you reach out to them, they do reply. So then I would start to think, oh, hang on a minute, what's happened to this person? Because this person that I'm thinking of, they quite like things like wild swimming and, you know, what I would call dangerous activities. You know, I know quite a lot of people who like wild swimming, to be honest. It's very popular, isn't it? At the moment, certainly in the UK, it's a very popular activity. But as I say, if you do like wild swimming, and thing is, I'm not here to tell you not to do it, but please don't do it alone. That's all I would always say to someone. Don't do it alone. It is dangerous, because if you get into difficulty, you know, and there's so many different ways you can get into difficulty. It happens so often. So is this what this man did? Did he decide to go off and have a day? I'm going to do some wild swimming. Maybe he'd done it 100 times before and no problems. And then that day he decided to go off wild swimming, and something happened and he got into difficulty, and that was the end of him. I mean, he could, you know, it could be a self-deletion, but it seems strange. I don't think you would wear a wetsuit, would you, to go and take your own life in the water, but possibly. But I think the strangest thing is no vehicle or no other things around him. You know, they've found nothing else. You know, normally with cases like this, they find where somebody had parked up to go and do their activity. So, yeah, anyway. I just thought I'd tell you about it. I will probably be back later on talking about another case. Thank you for caring about this man. Let's hope between us and everybody else who'll be showing this, or the police, that, I mean, it's on all the news, Sky News, etc., are all showing this picture. So let's hope that means, you know, that he will get identified. And I just want to say again, thank you to Sean for the Ko-fi. That's very much appreciated. I really appreciate that. But, you know, I'm just trying to think. I'm just thinking about how different this is from what we're normally doing. You know, I say we're normally like, where is Nancy? Where is Nancy Guthrie? We don't know whether she's alive or dead. We don't know where she is. And here we've got someone who's been recovered, but but they can't identify him and let his family know what's happened to him. Anyway, okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for caring about this guy. Let's hope he's identified soon. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you are the most. If you're not okay, you can't help everybody else. Until then, may your God go with you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.